Boom. What is going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a completely new brewery that I have never tried before, and from a couple friends on Untapped, this one is a little bit hit or miss, so I'm kind of excited to put my 2 cents in this a little bit because I've had a couple friends that say they didn't like it all, that it completely missed its mark, and I have a couple friends that completely loved it. So it's definitely seems like one of those kind of hit or miss beers. But before we get into the beer, I want to talk about a little bit about Wild Barrel Brewing Company, because I don't really know much about these guys. So they're in the San Diego area, established in San Marcos, California. They focus on customer experience and creating high quality beers using only the best ingredients. They specialize in sours, hazy IPAs, and stouts, which they're best known for their Vice Sour series, which led them to win the gold medal for the 2020 Great American Beer Festival. So yeah, they have some high praises from the beer community itself, and just kind of they specialize in some all over the board kind of things. Of course, when it comes to the beers, they really specialize in different fermentation methods. So I'm really excited to kind of try this one out, see if there's anything kind of interesting about this one. But it's a little deceiving because it says it's a cocktail sour on the front, but then on the side it says it's a pastry sour ale. So we're going to see. I'm assuming just because of the ingredients and what it's trying to name itself after, it's probably going to be more in the cocktail kind of thing. I don't see why I would get any pastry kind of notes in this, but we'll find out when we drink it, because today we're going to be taking a look at the Blue Hawaiian from Wild Barrel Brewing Company. It's got like the little bear with a cigar and just enjoying a nice vacation. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. When it comes out, it has 9% ABV, and it's a sour ale brewed with oranges, pineapple, and non-alcoholic blue Curaçao, which is going to give it that blue in color kind of thing, since it's imitating a Blue Hawaiian, which is, I'm going to see how that goes, because a non-alcoholic, add like an actual liqueur in there to kind of give it color and maybe a little bit of flavor, may add a boozy note to it. I don't know, it's a 9%. That's definitely up there for a nice 9% sour. So I'm pretty excited. So without further ado, let's crack this guy open. See what we get on the smell. Okay. So let's see. Definitely blue. Definitely already seeing that right here. Oh yeah, definitely getting lots of tropical notes. Definitely getting like an orange. Definitely the pineapple. Orange and pineapple are the first like two predominant smells I get. I don't know if it might be a little bit of tart. I don't know. Kentucky might know if this has a good... In your scale, Kentucky, I don't know how tart you consider this one, but yeah, it definitely seems like there's going to be some tart notes in there, getting that kind of... that fermented kind of funk in there to kind of bring in sour notes. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. And who knows, I might be the deal breaker when it comes to what people think about this. I'll be drinking out of my Black Horizon Brewing Company glass, and let's see how this pours. Oh yeah, definitely blue. Really blue. Holy crap. Yeah. It's a blue beer. That's for damn sure. Very, very blue. Almost has like a green kind of color to it. But yeah, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. It has more of like a darker green kind of color. Almost kind of looks like an ectoplasm-y. Definitely getting a lot of that like pineapple orange on the nose. It smells like there's a little bit of like coconutty-ness in it. I don't know if it... I wouldn't be surprised if there are notes like coconut in here, just because if it's trying to imitate like that kind of tropical drink kind of situation. But without further ado, let's give this guy a try. So, cheers everybody. Happy Wednesday. Okay. Definitely getting those like tart, really right off the first palate you get really like a tart orange kind of flavor. Never really had Blue Curaçao by itself to kind of know what Blue Curaçao tastes like, because I'm not really a liqueur guy, or mixed drinks is like, I'm hit or miss, I guess. But definitely getting more of like yeah, I can definitely agree. It's more like a fermented sour kind of flavor in there. Definitely not like a tart fruit kind of situation going in it. Definitely, I think the orange is more predominant, but then the pineapple kind of is muted a little bit. But overall, yeah, it's not bad. Definitely, it seems like there should be a little bit more going on. I don't know if adding the blue Curaçao kind of mutes everything else, because probably the flavors in that are the most predominant, since it's its own liqueur. So I feel like if you're gonna make a sour that kind of imitates a blue Hawaiian, you could have done something make a little bit less of the blue Curaçao in there to kind of enhance more of those like pineapple-y orange kind of notes in here. Overall, it's not too tart. I'd probably give it like a 2 out of 5 for tartness. Not too bad. But overall, yeah, definitely getting some of those notes in there. The mostly predominant flavor I'm getting is like that tart orange citrusiness, and then maybe like that pineapple coming in at the end to kind of wash it away. Not a little bit of a sweetness, not too much, more of a predominant tartness in there. But overall, yeah, it's not too bad at all. Definitely has a nice hazy color to it. I really enjoy the color, to be honest. But overall, yeah, it's pretty delicious. I'm digging it. So let's see what other people have to say about this one, because Untapped is all over the place when it comes to this one. So looking here, like I said before, it's a 9% ABV Imperial Cocktail Sour. And like I said, it's made with orange, pineapple, and blue Curaçao. Non-alcoholic blue Curaçao, just reminding you guys. And with over 531 ratings, this one has an average rating of 3.73 out of 5 on tap, which isn't bad. It's definitely more of that kind of upper echelon kind of range. But before we start getting into what people think about this one, let's look and see what people have here for similar beers. So they only have 3 similar beers for this one on Untapped, which usually has 5, which is curious why it's so low. So we got the Creek from Alisang Brewing and Blending, which Alisang kind of does more, plays around with more of those fermentation kind of methods. Definitely has more fermented sours and all that stuff, and like do different stuff with like lambics and all that stuff. So they have the Creek for theirs, and then they have the one from Deviant Wolf Brewing with the Scotch Bonnet Jam. And let's see what that one just looks like. It's okay, that's interesting. So it's a sour ale with Scotch bonnets, peach, mango, and nectarine. I don't know if I would consider that similar to this. I'm curious of how that would work. But then the third one is from one of my favorite breweries when it comes to sours and kind of making sours. They have one from Great Notion in here called Unbalanced Breakfast, which is, it's a tart ale, heaps of blueberry puree, buckets of maple syrup, milk, sugar, and a whole lot of coffee bean. So, to be honest, I don't really think many of these would be considered similar to this, because I'm getting like the tropical notes, definitely from the pineapple and the orange, kind of creating that tropical drink note flavor in there. Then the blue Curaçao has its own natural tropical fruit flavors in there. I don't know exactly what they are, but they're just trying to create a nice tropical tasting like cocktail, a beer cocktail practically. And I think they did a pretty good job. They did a pretty good job. It definitely has more of those predominant tart flavors in there. It definitely has that kind of liqueur kind of background, even though it's not really adding any ABV to it. But you can definitely tell there's like a slight liqueur flavor in there that kind of makes it very unique. But I'm trying to think which one would be the most, what would be the most kind of similar to this. I don't want to say the Scotch Bonnet Jam just because the peach and the mango and the nectarine. I don't know how that pepper thing would work in there. But to be honest, I think this might be the closest one to it. I would be really curious to what a Scotch Bonnet kind of would do to a beer if you're taking out the capsaicin aspect of it and then just adding just the pure pepper flavor. It might have like a tropical fruit note. So I would probably go with the Scotch Bonnet Jam for being the most similar out of all of these, just because with all those tropical fruits in there, and then having, like, you think of a habanero having, with take away the spice of a habanero pepper, and like I would put Scotch bonnets in that same realm. You take away the heat, and it would just kind of create more of a tropical experience, which I think that would actually be pretty similar in this one. So if you can't get your hands on the Blue Hawaiian from Wild Barrel, if you can get your hands on this one from Deviant Wolf, which they're out of Sanford, Florida, the Scotch Bonnet Jam, who knows? You might find a similar experience with this one. But then they have all kinds of like verified venues right here. So you got Cellars Fine Wine and Spirits in Phoenix, You got Hilltop Liquor in Huntington Beach, California. And let's see, we got Cask and Flask Liquors in San Jose. And then you got Sunset Mart in Rockland, which are verified locations that possibly have the Blue Hawaiian or having beers from Wild Barrel Brewing themselves. So, yeah, I would say Blue Croc. Yeah, so, Ian, I probably agree with you. Definitely, for it being like a blue kind of, I would consider Blue Caraco a liqueur. But whenever I see anything with Blue Caraco in it, they're trying to imitate a tropical beverage kind of thing. So you would see it in like some of those like island mixed drinks. I don't know, you would get on a cruise ship in a tropical Caribbean place somewhere. But overall, yeah, this isn't bad. Definitely, I feel like the flavors could be a little bit more predominant. Like, I would like to see a little bit more pineapple in this, just to kind of add like a slight sweetness to it to balance out the tartness. But overall, the tartness is not too predominant. The orange flavors in here are really nice. Pineapple's just slightly there, but like I said, I want it to be more there just because I'm a big fan of pineapple flavors in fruited sours themselves. So, before I see the global rating, I'll kind of give you an idea of what. So I've had 4 friends on here, actually 3 friends check this in. So my one buddy gave it a 3.75 out of 5. Then we got another buddy of mine, if you know him, he's known as Fruited Sours on Instagram. He gave it a 3 out of 5, and he just apparently he drank it and then poured it out right after it. He said a 3 was being generous, and at the end of the he wants like an end to a cocktail series sour kind of thing. So I'm kind of curious why. Maybe it might have been the blue color to it. I don't know. But the flavors aren't bad enough for me to be throwing it down the drain. But then you got Mr. Wintucky right here, purchased at MM Liquor and Market, which he rated a 4 out of 5, saying it's like sitting on an island, sweet, tangy, tropical, and blue. And then, of course, you can always check out the full review from Mr. Wintucky all over on his Instagram. He's somebody like me, but instead of doing it on YouTube, he does his little reviews on Instagram. So if you haven't checked out Mr. Wintucky Shine, please do so. He's my brother in beer when it comes to anything I do. We're talking at least once a week about beer stuff and all kinds of things like that. So if you haven't followed Mr. Wintucky Shine over on Instagram, you're missing out, my friends. But going back over to the global ratings here, this is where I saw that it's really hit or miss with a lot of people. So we got somebody right here that gave it a 2.5, saying not bad. This person gave it a 3.75 out of 5, purchased off Tavor like I did. And let's see, we got a 4 out of 5. This guy gave it a 4.75 out of 5, saying with the purchase off Tavor. This person gave it a full 5 out of 5. Then you got a 3.25 out of 5, another 3.25 out of 5. And then let's see, this guy with a 3.75 out of 5 says, looks more green than blue. Interesting beverage, very low carbonations, sweet, 9%, completely hidden. I completely agree with this one. You don't really taste any booziness to this at all. But when he checked it in, it's definitely more like a neon green kind of color, when mine has that like bluish green kind of color to it. But yeah, so it's like people are either giving it kind of average / lower average ratings, or you're giving it like almost a 5 out of 5 rating. That's what the average for this one is. So that's probably why it's kind of in that 3.7 kind of realm for the average rating. But yeah, so ratings are all over the place with this one on tap. So if you have the opportunity to pick this one up, you may be able to balance the scales a little bit of what people are giving this one a rating on Untapped, just because, like I said, it's either you like it or you don't. So, yeah, and I agree. This is definitely one of those beers that I would consider it's like you like it or not. There's no in between with this one. So, let's start figuring out what we're gonna do for ratings on this. But let me pour the rest of this in the glass. And let's look at can art really quick. Start going down our ratings. Yeah, I like the can art this one. From being my first beer that I've experienced from Wild Barrel, of course, I really like their logo. It's clean and classy. Kind of looks like one of those kind of logos you would kind of scorch into a barrel, since it's Wild Barrel. So I would imagine a bourbon barrel with them using like a brand to like kind of scorch the wood with that logo, which I think would be pretty cool. I like the colors on here. I really like the bear, just feeling like he's just on vacation in Hawaii. A little hat, cigar, and you got the Hawaiian shirt and the lei on him. But what I'm curious about, why does he have a bear head and he has human arms? That's what... It's like, what the hell? So it's like Smokey the Bear went on vacation. It's like... And I guess he decided to smoke a cigar in his spare time. Or it's Smokey the Bear's freaking rich cousin that lives in Hawaii. Who knows? But I like the kind of little funny kind of themed bear on here. Definitely something that would catch my attention if I saw it at a liquor store or bottle shop. I really like the kind of accents in the background where it's like tropical leaves on the side and then kind of using those like bright to mixing with the red with those lines in there to kind of set the tone for something that they want to catch your attention. So really eye-catching label. I like the blue in there with the red. Of course, it's really nice. I'd probably give this label for being like how eye-catching it is and just kind of having a funny kind of thing on there for the label. I give it a solid 4 out of 5 for can art. Yeah, it's really nice. So, without that, that's just can art. Let's start figuring out what we're going to be doing for our ratings on this beer. So, if I got this beer in a flight at Wild Barrel Brewing Company, would I get another one? To be honest, I would like to try some of their other sours. To be honest, I would love to try their sours from that Vice line, since that's what they're known for, and that's what won them. Beers from that line won them the gold medal at the 2020 Great American Beer Festival. But if I didn't have the opportunity to try anything from the Vice line, and I had this, would I get another one? Yeah, I probably would. To be honest, it's not bad. I definitely like the flavors in here. Definitely wish, like I said, if there was a little bit more pineapple, my rating would probably be higher than what it's going to be. But overall, the orange citrus tartness is nice. Slight kind of pineapple along with like different kind of tropical fruit notes in there. I was maybe thinking there was going to be coconut in there kind of because it kind of gave off a little bit of like a coconutty smell. But I didn't really get any coconut in the mouth or the flavor at all. So overall, yeah, it's pretty solid. I'm definitely not against this one. I would definitely drink it if I had it like... If I had this available for me to drink, and it's like, or somebody brought it to a barbecue or something, yeah, I would drink it, for sure. This isn't something that I would like throw away instantly and not really drink at all. This is definitely something that's pretty damn solid. It's not like the best sour in the world that I've had. Of course, there's many other breweries that have kind of taken that kind of favoritism from me. But overall, they did a pretty solid job with this one, I think. It's not bad at all. So I think with my final rating on this, I'm going to give this a solid 7 out of 10. Really good. Definitely, of course, there's notes in here that I wish I had more of, which would have given it like probably closer to an 8 out of 10 for me. But overall, with the flavors I'm getting now, the kind of pretty solid flavors I'm getting, of course, that nice bright orange citrus coming through. You're not really getting much of the blue Caraco flavors. Of course, it kind of brings in a little bit more of those liqueur kind of flavors that you would get. But overall, yeah, it's pretty solid. I'm not really against this one at all. So I'm probably more on the side of liking it instead of disliking it. So I may balance out the ratings on Untappd a little bit. Who knows? But other than that, that is pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you everybody again for coming to hang out. You guys are awesome. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. If you haven't, it would help me out a lot. Of course, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live doing the review. Plus, I try to do reviews whenever I have a day off, so if I don't have a review that day, I'm most likely working, doing some brewery stuff. But other than that, if you want to possibly find some more stuff from Wild Barrel Brewing Company, if you can't find them in their area, I can always recommend Tavour, knowing that this one showed up. They probably have other beers that show up from Wild Barrel from time to time, so you just got to download the app, put in your zip code right away when it comes to Tavour, and they'll let you know right away if they can get stuff shipped to you. It's a beer delivery / beer subscription service that may not be available everywhere throughout the country, but you have if you're in specific areas. I know the the Chicagoland area, you can get it delivered to you. You can get it delivered to you in places like DC. I know in Dallas, Texas, you can get it delivered to you. Most likely in the state of Washington as well, since they're based out of Washington. So you just kind of gotta find out on your own. Download the app and just find out if you can get beers from them. But other than that, if you want to see another kind of aspect of beer drinking, of course, it's like a nice social media platform I always recommend, because you can check in beers, get badges, talk to other people who drink beer, see people like me, Kentucky Ian. Let's see, you got Duchess that's on there. Who else? We got Lee, not the real Gerard Butler. You got the Typhons. So yeah. bunch of people on Untappd, just checking in beers, drinking some stuff, having some fun. And plus, if I see what other people are drinking and giving high ratings, it may give me the opportunity to find something that I can pick up in my area that I can pick up for a review. Who knows? But other than that, that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. So thank you again, everybody in chat, for hanging out. You guys are amazing. And I'm going to say it like I always say it before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And cheers, everybody. Have a good one.